Bing bong, and welcome back to the Funny Business Podcast, everybody. Mike clearly did not get that reference. He is an uncultured swine. Doesn't spend all his day on TikTok as I do. But I hope some of you out there got that reference. Welcome back to another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. Hope you all enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I hope you all enjoyed your tryptophan nap that you took during the football games. They kind of sucked this year, so hopefully it was fun spending time with family and friends. Mike, I don't know where you'll be for Thanksgiving, but I will be up in Seneca Lake for Thanksgiving with some friends, or excuse me, with some family. I'm very much looking forward to spending some time by the water and drinking some wine, because nothing says Thanksgiving than a bottle of wine. But how are you?
You know, Matt, I'm thoroughly disappointed because I was expecting so much more, and
from what?
And in great fashion, I was not satisfied by that intro. You literally hyped it up like it was this like long running like 5 to 10 second joke. Nope, it's just bing bong. Or
well, do you know what that is?
Yes, it's a TikTok reference, and actually, it's ding dong. It's also ding dong.
No.
Yes, it is.
It's bing bong.
Look it up. You know, Matt, I'm actually working during the day, and I don't know what you're doing. So
I work during the day.
Yeah, man, we're on fire, man. You know, it's Black Friday. If you're listening to, of course, the first day, make sure you're getting all your percentage offs. But one thing's for sure, you're getting 100% of the Funny Business Podcast today. So, Matt, welcome. Another episode down. So many more to go. As you see in the very beginning of the show notes, I want to see how festive you really are, Matthew. I really want to see that. I was very formal with my first opening topic for the show notes for today. But Matt, it's past Thanksgiving based on the time that this is released.
Correct.
Correct. Matt, I'm sure you have some plans for Friday. I don't know if you have any like traditional, you are going to Seneca Lake, but in a normal traditional Thanksgiving, besides, I mean, if you're going to Seneca Lake a lot, have fun. But did you usually had any like traditions, like anything with your family? Did you participate in something? Did you hang up the Christmas decorations? Did you watch anything?
No, not really. It's kind of just like a chill weekend for us. Yeah, we don't really do a whole lot because my dad used to go hunting that weekend.
Yes.
So we just kind of chilled out, took a break from school, things like that.
Nice. Well, Matt, I know you are a huge Buddy the Elf fan.
Always. So
we are going to play a game. If you were not surprised by the beginning of how festive you really are, usually you quiz somebody with that. Matt, I found this little quiz that reads the title, Sorry, but you'll need to have seen Elf at least 100 times to pass this oddly specific trivia quiz.
I can't wait.
So, Matt, it is...
Listen, my reputation is on the line here.
Yeah, your reputation is certainly on the line.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it 10 times harder for you. It is multiple choice, but I'm not giving you multiple choice. For as much as you said that you love Buddy the Elf, I'm going to lay it on the line for you, and you're going to have to guess open-ended questions.
I want on the record that I do not agree to this, but I will take it anyway.
It's okay. Consent is just thrown out the window here in the Funny Business Podcast.
Whoa. Disavow. Jesus. Can't just throw shit like that out on the internet.
I'm going to be canceled by the time
we might have just gotten us canceled. Let alone, I want on the record, disavow. Always get consent.
Yep. Always get consent.
Wise man.
A wise man. So, Matt, the first question. I was tempted to give you choices, but now I'm not. What is Buddy's full name? Uh-oh. I'll give you... Okay, so I believe there's 10. Yes, there's 10 questions.
Okay.
You have 2 lifelines if you want me to give you choices.
I'm going to use a lifeline on this one.
Okay. Is it Buddy the Elf, Buddy Holiday, Buddy Christmas, or Buddy Hobbs?
Buddy Hobbs, final answer.
You are correct. It's Buddy Hobbs.
Okay, I was thinking of like his actual name because they just named him Buddy because the diaper says Little Buddy Diapers and they just called him Buddy. I was in my head. I was like, do they actually give his real name? But no. Oh, son of a bitch.
One lifeline down. Next question. Matt, who's Buddy's girlfriend?
Cheugy.
You're correct.
That was easy.
Matt, how did Buddy end up at the North Pole?
He ended up at the North Pole by sneaking into Santa's bag at the orphanage.
You're correct. Sorry, I had to watch.
I know I'm correct. You didn't have to tell me yet.
Oh, I had to see where it said when he was in the orphanage, Buddy crawled into Santa's sack of presents. I had to find that. It wasn't directly.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So, Matt, what Christmas song was Jovi singing in the shower?
Baby, it's cold outside.
Yep.
Baby, it's cold outside. Great scene. Get out. Don't look at me.
Runs in the locker.
Oh, it's hysterical.
Matt, what kind of dinner does Buddy make for his new family when he moves in?
I know what he makes for breakfast. Does he make it for dinner? It's the spaghetti with the candy and the maple syrup.
Spaghetti and syrup, you're correct.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Matt, who's Buddy's half-brother?
Michael.
Correct.
I almost didn't think of his name for a hot second. The only reason I know that is the scene when Buddy goes to pick him up from school. He's like, Michael, it's me, your brother.
Me, your brother. Matt, what is the name of the shop where Buddy and Jovi meet?
Gimbals.
Oh, there you go, man.
Yep.
The only issue with this multiple choice was it was either TJ Maxx, Toys R Us, Kmart, or Gimbals. And it's that's a little giveaway.
It's a little obvious. Yeah.
Matt, you're pretty hot right now.
I'm feeling good.
And not just the streak you got going on. Next one. Matt, what does Buddy do in the elevator at the Empire State Building?
Pushes all the buttons to make it look like a Christmas tree.
Yep, you're correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who raised Buddy in the North Pole?
Papa Elf.
Oh, good one. You're correct.
Yep. How many more do I have?
This is the final question.
Oh, shit. Okay. I still have my lifeline, too.
Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Who is the director of the movie?
I know that. I know this.
Do you know?
I'm drawing a blank. I really wanted to not use my lifeline, but I'm going to have to use my lifeline.
You know what was really funny, Matt? When I took this quiz, I knew who the director was.
I know who it is. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
So Matt needs help in understanding Buddy the Elf. Matt, your choices for this final question. Is it Jon Favreau, Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, or Martin Scorsese?
That didn't ring a bell. Wow. It's not Martin Scorsese. I don't know why I want to say Steven Spielberg, but frick.
You really thought I was going to give it away?
Nutcracker.
God, nanny muggins.
Steven Spielberg, Fallenter.
The same person who directed The Mandalorian was also the director of Buddy the Elf, which was Jon Favreau. You are incorrect, Matt.
I know that. Fuck.
The same guy who did The Mandalorian also did.
Let's be real, I got all the important questions right.
Sure. Matt, you got a 9 out of 10 correct.
Uh-huh.
Matt, you scored better than 78% of all other quiz takers.
Get on my level, people.
Wow, you know your stuff. You probably watched this film every year while growing up, and it's likely a Christmas staple for you.
Yep.
They are right.
Pretty much. It'll be random, like Saturday in June. It'll be on TV. I'll watch it then, too.
I think it's pretty acceptable to do that. Like, if it's on TV, like, if you physically insert the disc, or if you're on Netflix and it shows up, that's a little sketchy. But like,
correct.
If it's on, it's on. Like, anytime you see the Marvel movies or Star Wars movies on all those like Paramount or TNT No. Yeah, TNT usually hosts a couple of them.
Yes.
I sit and watch, and I enjoy myself.
Absolutely.
That's how my family and I watch Black Panther. Even though I watched it already, they thoroughly enjoyed it. So
Yeah. Oh, it's the best.
Matt, well, speaking of nightmares and dreams, dream of watching Buddy the Elf on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Matt, there's a little bit of horror happening out in Colorado, or what recently happened in Colorado. Matt, a Colorado man was arrested this week for setting his mom's house on fire after using a blowtorch to clear cobwebs. John Charles Streckenbach, John, 39, was arrested on suspicion of first-degree arson, criminal mischief, causing $20,000 to $100,000 in damages. Possession of a controlled substance and violation of protection order, the Boulder Daily Camera reported. Matt, you know how we always see a spider, we're like, burn the whole house down?
Yep.
I think he took it just a little too far.
Just a tad. I think a simple... If he really wanted to burn the spider web, couldn't he just use a match and just had like something to put it out with quick? It was a blowtorch. Like, who just has a random blowtorch hanging around that they can just use to kill spider webs? What's that all about?
Culinary artists.
This guy doesn't look like a culinary artist. He looks like a guy that would burn the house down for insurance money. That's what he looks like.
So the fire personnel, upon arriving, could see smoke coming from the roof of the single-family residence. Investigators say the man acknowledged using a blowtorch to clear cobwebs into the crawl space under the home, and he tried to put out the fire for an hour by himself before calling emergency crews. The fire was extinguished around 5:30 p.m. No one is injured in the fire, but it caused about $100,000 in damages. According to the affidavit, the man had a court order barring him from being within 100 feet of the home and being around his mother, who lived in the house. His mother told investigators she had been allowing him to stay at home recently because he is homeless. Authorities say the man was also in possession of a small bag of methamphetamine. Matt.
I'm sure that wasn't in his system at all when he used blowtorch.
Listen, I've never been on meth. We can say the Funny Business Podcast is 100% meth free.
Put that in every post. We are 100% meth free. Or like on our logo,
sticker,
a little sticker. Yeah, please. Perfect.
I'm not sure what the side effects are for taking meth, but those I would consider if I per se understood the cause and effect of meth, I could probably say that those spiders looked gigantic compared to what they actually should size up to be.
They were probably talking to him.
They're
probably were, if I had to bet. I think this is a good reason for people to not do meth. Is there like a meth awareness month?
Let me look it up for you, Matt.
Because this would be a perfect story to tell. Also, just a weird scenario that he has a court order saying that he can't be with the home, but the mom's letting them live there anyway. Like, then how do you get that court order?
Matt, there is a National Meth Awareness Day.
Oh.
We're gonna celebrate it Tuesday, November 30th.
Oh shit. Okay. Well.
Which by the way, Matt and I are not like, if you know someone who is currently dealing with this type of drug, we're not making fun of you. It's just we're a bunch of idiots and we've never done drugs. So
correct.
So this is just an outsider's perspective, but you know, it would have been really creepy if the spiders were singing to him. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water. Like in a really like oh my god! I would certainly use a blowtorch if that was happening to me. But I also wouldn't be on meth.
Right, and again, back to my scenario. Like, does everybody have a blowtorch but us?
Yeah, maybe.
That's bizarre. This also reminds me of another story that happened locally here around me last week. This guy and his wife, they bought like a local mansion for like $6 million.
Okay.
They bought it last Monday. Last Tuesday, not the whole place, but there was a fire.
Oh shit! What happened?
And I don't know what happened.
Oh,
but like fire trucks had to come. Like there was a news story, like so much, a huge fire in the house, and they finally put it out, and then the fire started again.
Oh no!
Yeah, like, and I'm not kidding. The day after they bought it for like $6 million, they threw a big party, and then the next day in like the ballroom, something caught on fire.
Oh,
it was kind of crazy. I also don't know why you would buy a mansion in Pennsylvania, but I guess if I had that kind of money, I maybe I would.
Maybe the taxes are low.
I doubt it.
I know nothing about property tax or house tax or anything like that, or just taxes in general.
I don't know anything about anything. If you people have learned anything from this podcast, is that I am clueless. That's
way to put those 2 degrees to work there, Matthew.
Yeah, no, I went to buy my car last week, and I was like, "You, mom and dad, had to help me because like I don't know what these numbers mean."
Yeah, that's tough. Your percentage APR and all that crap. Yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun. No. But congratulations on a new car, Matt. I'm glad you're not in the death hole that it was your past car.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. This guy, did you see this guy's mugshot? Going back to the story, absolutely terrifying.
A little bit.
Absolutely terrifying. He looks like he's like 55.
In the best way possible, Matt. Give it a little description for our listeners here.
If Shaggy from Scooby-Doo just didn't shave for like 6 months and used meth, that is what John looks like.
Zoink Scoop.
Am I wrong?
No.
There it is.
Well, we hope that anything in the house wasn't too valuable or precious in this house fire. But Matt, let me ask you this question. What would cause you to, let's put it this way, to use such a weapon for spiders? Like where would you, to what point, to what degree you'd be like, screw it, I'm gonna blowtorch this thing?
Like just the spider?
Let's just say, okay, a spider scenario.
Well, I'm saying like that I would actually burn the house down.
Yes.
Or like, okay, I don't think there is one. I think at that point you just move out and you just leave all your possessions and you just buy new stuff.
Yep, I'm a head out.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I don't think I would trust myself with a blowtorch.
No, I wouldn't hand you one either.
Thank you.
After hearing that you've never hunted before in your life, I get a little
There's a reason for that.
Have you ever held a gun before?
Yes.
Okay. Recently?
No.
Yeah, no.
No. I couldn't tell you the last time I held a gun.
All right. That's fair. But, Matt, concluding with the first half of the Funny Business Podcast, Matt, Cheugy, the word Cheugy has been going around a little bit lately. Matt, Gen Zers, here we go, bunch of old millennials talking about the latest generation, Gen Z. Matt, over the past year, Gen Z has been at the forefront of declaring deflating trends on social media. We've been entertained by them. We've, been LOL'd by all these things that have happened, trying to sound hip, dab. But, Matt, recently, there has been a uproar going around of how several TikTokers have declared blonde hair as Cheugy.
I don't buy this. I think blonde hair is just blonde hair. I think if you want to have blonde hair, make yourself have blonde hair. I mean, you could say this about like any hair color, I feel like. Because if you don't like your natural hair color, you can just change it to something else. Like, what if like 5 years from now, there's a lot of natural blondes that want to go and be like a brunette? Isn't that then being Cheugy? Like, I feel like it's like blondes. Well, counterpoint to the whole scenario, blondes have more fun.
Oh,
right.
Matt, you'd be surprised because there are a few celebrities who recently just changed brunette. Not saying allegedly influenced by this quote trend, But Gigi Hadid, Hailey Bieber, and then Florence Poe. I think that's her name. She was the one who played in Black Widow. I forget. Yelena. Okay, never mind. They all went brunette after this timeline per se of TikTokers declaring blonde hair as cheugy. Now, for the older demographic at home who is listening to this podcast, cheugy means uncool. Like you have bougie,
like trying to be trendy.
You have bougie, which is like that's pretty cool, but then you have cheugy, which is not cool.
Right. Because we're so not cheugy.
We're not cheugy at all.
Not one bit. Not a dime back.
Things that people say that are cheugy, they say they're not cheugy.
Yeah, again, I think you could say any hair color is cheugy if someone dyes their hair to be that color. Like if they change it to be brown, or you could say, oh, you're being cheugy. Change it to the blonde, you're being cheugy. If you change it to a redhead, oh, you're being cheugy. I think I could just pick and choose the scenario where, in fact, the hair color is just kind of hair color.
Yeah,
like it's not like you're right, and it's not like you're just trying to change your lingo to fit in. Like it's not like if like I'm not going to not be friends with someone because they have blonde hair instead of brunette hair. Like that's not what I'm going to do. I think being cheugy, the things that are cheugy is the things that like change you more than just your hair color, because your hair color is just your hair color.
It's actions more than just natural born things.
Right. Like if we just wore blue shirts the whole time, I don't think that's cheugy. I think we just like the color blue. Or if I buy Crocs, no, I don't think that's cheugy because I'm just buying Crocs.
I think you'd look well with blonde hair. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, I wouldn't. You would though.
So fun fact: when I was younger, my mom bought this spray to turn my hair blonde. We did it once. It got super blonde, and I don't really remember if we have a picture of it. To be honest,
like bleach blonde, or like
kind of. I don't remember. I was so young. I really don't remember, and I don't think we have a single photo of it. But we did spray my hair blonde one summer.
I using the old noggin up there. I know. No.
Oh no.
No, me.
Should I?
No. Oh no, not you. You're fine.
Oh.
I thought you were looking at me to see if I would be good with blonde. Hell no, I would not be.
I think we could both rock it.
I think so. Bald, on the other hand.
What do you? Oh no, I'm not ready to go bald. I don't know. What do you think? Is it cheugy?
I agree with you, Matt. I think with the idea that you are basically ridiculing something that is natural. You know, I am always a fan of natural, like I really don't want to call her out, but my hairstylist, I feel like she changes her hair color every single time I see her, and I'm on like a monthly basis. And I don't know if that's just part of the, I can't say it's part of the trade, but like, I don't know if she's just experimenting hair on herself so that way she can like talk to her customers about it. But like, you're not going to see me dye my hair purple or red or, what was that? Her last hair color was purple. I love her, by the way. She's really good, up in my area as far as haircuts. Part of the reason why I'm in that, and I'm at that place is because of her. But, yeah, you're right, Matt. I think this whole cheugy idea of somebody yelling at somebody for being naturally born with something. It's like, oh, well, you know, left-handed's cheugy. Well, what? Why are you making fun of left-handed people when they were born with it, or have at least been tailored to the point of using their left hand? Like, right. I think that's where the conclusion comes from for this whole cheugy idea. But we all know how TikTok is. There's a bunch of trends that roll around in the bing bong, and you know, all these things that happen that we are so quick to judge. But also it dies very, very quickly. Once we actually take the time and look at the timeline from A to B with those trends.
You know what? I think we've reached the point where calling out things for being cheugy is actually what is cheugy.
That is cheugy.
So just Uno reverse card
Reversal.
right back at you. Also,
you activated my trap card.
correct. Also, as two guys with Jenna's blonde, right?
Nope.
No. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say it's two guys.
Matt?
I was gonna say with two guys with blonde girlfriends, we can't really call blonde hair Cheugy. But never mind. Sorry, Jenna. Whatever. It's been a long day.
Definitely in the summer. Well, I shouldn't say summer.
It looks summer. It's lighter.
You start seeing it lighter, but like now, like it's it's more darker. So.
All right, I'm gonna give myself a pass then because I haven't seen Jenna in a long time.
Yeah, you haven't.
Right. We'll get there.
I've listened to April for the first time the past 2 weeks. You're
what?
Like, wait, what? Yeah. When we were playing Fortnite Wednesday night.
Oh,
like
yes.
I got to hear what she sounded like.
Yes,
like it almost sounded like a podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you remember what we talked about? I mean, we were more talking about Fortnite than anything because boys will be boys, and
we did mention that I watched Wolf of Wall Street. That was about it.
Yes, you did, which I'm very happy for you, Matt.
Yep.
We were very tempted to just throw on Titanic every time we're on Netflix because we just have such an issue, not an issue, but we just have just a challenge of just trying to agreeing and finding something. Anytime I see Titanic, I click over and she goes, I'm not going to be opposed to not watching Titanic. I'm like, Jen, it's 3 hours long. I don't think we could sit here and watch for 3 hours at the moment. I had to watch it, I think, in 3 days' time. Like I had to watch it 3 days to do that. But I think we did that for Wolf of Wall Street too. Like we had to watch it.
Yeah, it's a long movie. It was good though. I really enjoyed it.
Who directs Wolf of Wall Street, Matt?
Leonardo DiCaprio, bitch.
Martin Scorsese.
Correct.
Wait, now I'm thinking about it now. Does no, I'm thinking of another person. Doesn't Steven Spielberg direct Titanic?
I don't know. Sure it's not Jon Favreau?
No. Titanic director. James Cameron. I don't know what made me not think of that. It's very synonymous to that name.
That is next on our list is to watch Titanic because I haven't seen it either.
It's on Netflix, man. Dude, I don't know why I bring this joke up all the time, but I don't want to spoil it for you. But
yeah, no, I think we're past that.
I hate pulling that joke off because it actually happened, and it's sad.
Did you just hear they're trying to make like a second Titanic that looks exactly like the first ship?
I feel like
that is just karma. Come on.
I feel like it's been a discussion ever since the first Titanic came down. Like,
I think they're actually selling tickets for it now.
Really?
Which, if you buy a ticket to that boat, you have a death wish.
Right.
Like, there's no way I would be the first person on the first ship that sets sail because I think they want to take like the same path.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
You say you have a death wish, Matt. You might as well just get painted like one of somebody else's French girls. Just saying. You'll find that out when you watch it later.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to thank some sponsors. And when we come back, it's Matt's turn. It's the sports. Let's say you start a podcast or you're running your own side hustle and have a bunch of links that you want your audience to know about. As a podcast, Matt and I have all of our social media, all of our podcast links, and other important things. Make it easier for your followers to find your important links, social media, and latest content by having it all in one page with solo.to. I'll be honest, I have used similar websites like this, but nothing compares to solo.to. All of your links are clean and easy to navigate. Have an upcoming video? It's really easy to make those changes. Plus, solo.to has opportunities to upgrade to include more customization, advanced analytics, and so much more. Solo.to is giving us a special opportunity for you to get 10% off if you create an account and upgrade. Be sure to go to solo.to/funnybusiness to create your account today. Solo.to, it's the way to go. Do you think, Matt, people are tired of hearing our Anchor ad?
Yeah, probably. But let's be honest, if it wasn't for Anchor, we would not be doing a podcast.
You're right, Matt. Once again, we have to thank Anchor for helping us continue to make each episode. Y'all know how it works. Anchor is free. It's easy to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, and distributes your podcast to platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more.
And you all know that you can make money too, even with the first couple episodes that you start with.
So why haven't you started your own podcast yet? Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm.
So, Mike, when do you think we'll stop talking about Anchor?
Oh, man, Matt. You know what? To be completely honest, I think we'll be talking about this for a long time.
Okay, let's slide in sports topics. We have you all today, and we are going to start with some breaking news. Breaking news, the show has just started. What are you laughing at?
I love your sentence.
Yes, so my first show note, so the quick editor's change at halftime, making some halftime adjustments for the second half. And I put in LeBron started a fight against the Pistons and backed out like a little bitch. So if you haven't seen the video, I don't know how you haven't, but if you haven't, basically what happened is after a free throw, LeBron James accidentally, in air quotes, I don't know, hit Pistons forward Isaiah Stewart in the face, and then his eye just started bleeding profusely. Just started bleeding profusely. It was awful. And then he started the charge at LeBron. People got in the way. Then he just start fighting the entire Lakers franchise at that point. Mm-hmm. And then the funniest part of the whole scenario, he's getting pushed back by his teammates in the locker room. He goes, I'm okay. Then he starts to walk off on his own. Then he takes off and sprints right back to try to get to LeBron. Oh. And where was LeBron? Oh, he was hiding behind the security guards the whole time. But Mike, well, first, your thoughts on the whole scenario did you see the actual video of LeBron hitting him in the face?
Was it a foul shot that
was? It was. I didn't think that was that accidental. Like there was some force behind that.
It was. I mean, I couldn't the very few clips that I saw it on. I couldn't see the right angle. I'm going to try to pull up one. I can't say it happens. In the event, we were talking about. Let me just see here. I see it. Oh. Okay. Well, I just saw it from this a different angle now, and jeez. Yeah,
he did kind of follow through a little bit.
He did. Like usually in the event, like we were talking about it last week with Jokic and
Markieff Morris.
Like that was very contact-like, where it was trying to defend the ball, and Jokic just decided to take two steps when he shouldn't. Boxing out is a very first of all, boxing out is a very strategic thing that you can do in basketball. I think it's a thing that's fundamentally everyone should learn how to do. But to have that sort of reaction via the arm, I think that was very intentional. So I can understand why they got upset. And,
now I'm trying to find the video again. You can on a basketball court, when you hit someone in the face, right? Like it's not hard to say. Do you have the video? Did he try to go up to him and be like sorry, or did LeBron just kind of stand there? Because if I remember correctly, he just kind of just stood there, right?
Yeah, he had his as soon as he did it, he had his hand out. He's like, "Oh shit, sorry."
Oh, he did. Okay,
but here I'll quick send you the. We're right in the middle of his breaking news. It's developing, everybody.
So the breaking news: LeBron James has been suspended 1 game for his actions.
1?
And Isaiah Stewart will be suspended 2 games for their actions.
Oh my god.
So
classic LeBron.
Really, I mean, I'm surprised LeBron even got a game. I'm surprised Adam Silver didn't give him a raise for this. I don't know.
Is this the first time he's ever been suspended in the NBA?
Probably.
I think
this was only he got ejected from the game, and I think they said it was only his second career ejection ever.
I think you're right.
My thing is, I think they both either get 1 game or they both get 2 games. I know Stewart did go a little overboard, but he wouldn't have if LeBron didn't smack him in the face.
Right.
And then go ahead.
Again, if it was accidental, I mean, that was a knee-jerk reaction that was made via, who was it again? Sorry. Matt?
Isaiah Stewart.
Isaiah Stewart. Like, that was a knee-jerk reaction of him getting up and being like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, okay,
Right.
yeah, that's the point when your teammates pull you back and being like, okay, like, he was trying to apologize. Like, he didn't walk away from you. Like, it's kind of like when Shaq dunked on, oh God, which New York Knicks was it? He dunked on and just pushed him. He pushed
It was
him
Barkley.
down. Yeah, it was Barkley.
And then Barkley got up and threw the ball at
And
him.
it just threw the ball at him, like, as Shaq was walking away. Like, it wasn't as intentional like that, but I don't know, man. The NBA is getting soft, and then it's getting really firm, and it's getting soft again. It's just like a middle school boy who doesn't know how to handle his freaking
Hormones.
hormones.
So the league did release a statement, and let's read it live on the podcast. Detroit Pistons center Isaiah Stewart has been suspended 2 games without pay for escalating an on-court altercation by repeatedly and aggressively pursuing Los Angeles Lakers forward LeBron James in an unsportsmanlike manner. And James has been suspended 1 game without pay for recklessly hitting Stewart in the face and initiating an on-court altercation. I think that's about it. I guess Stewart did kind of go a little above and beyond. I don't know. I feel like in this scenario they should both get the same amount of games.
I think you're right, Matt, because if the altercation didn't happen between James and Stewart wouldn't have had the altercation that planned on it. I think, unfortunately, like in any WWE, I think the blood got, seeing blood got a little bit more intense, than it did. But I'm glad LeBron got suspended. It would be a huge difference if he didn't.
The other thing is, what are we going to call this one? Because obviously we had the Mouse at the Palace in Detroit, but it's not the Palace anymore. It's Little Caesars Arena.
Little Caesars.
So I don't really know
Pizza Stewart.
Yeah, I don't really know what we can call it.
A little pizza Stewart.
Like the little hot and fresh 5-minute fight. I don't know. Not quite sure. Moving on to just a story that will never die in the history of basketball and in the history of Paul Pierce's existence on this earth. He is once again addressing his infamous wheelchair game from the NBA Finals. This story is so stupid. So basically, if you don't know what I'm referencing, in the third quarter of Game 1 of the 2008 NBA Finals, Paul Pierce, who was on the Celtics, needed to sit in a wheelchair after taking a fall. He returned to the courts moments later, much to the surprise of Celtics fans. And in 2019, he clarified that what happened. He said, quote, "Something went down. I had to go to the bathroom." So naturally, what does everyone thinks? You pooped your pants during the NBA Finals. Well, Paul Pierce is here to say, ladies and gentlemen, that he did not poop his pants.
Oh, great. Thank God.
In an interview with Michelle Beadle at The Athletic, he said, quote, "If you poop your pants, does it make sense to sit down and mush it in a wheelchair? I would walk back there and go straight to the bathroom. Why would I need a wheelchair if I pooped my pants? You don't sit down on your poop, right? It doesn't make sense." Then why did you need the wheelchair if you had to go to the bathroom?
I think, the biggest question of all, like, sometimes we're in a little bit of the shot clock's running out, as far as getting us to the hole or the toilet sometimes. So yeah, you could have some running down your leg at some points. I'm just kidding. But you could be to the point where if you don't get in the toilet, it's going to go out. But yeah, the bigger question is, why the hell did he need to be in a wheelchair? Like, I think instead of him pooping his pants, I think that's even the bigger story. Why did he need a wheelchair?
Yeah, unless he just had to go that bad he couldn't walk. I don't know. Maybe his nerves were that bad. It was his first NBA Finals. But what does this say about Paul Pierce that this is the biggest story in his career? That he pooped his pants during the NBA Finals?
think we all know not to have Taco Bell before the NBA Finals.
That's true.
Yes. The fact that this is, quote, the biggest story for Paul Pierce, I'm a little disappointed because Paul Pierce was an okay. He was a great player. Had a championship run. I think the thing that I'm always remembering Paul Pierce, oddly enough, it wasn't him being a part of the Celtics, it's him being a part of the Wizards, believe it or not. And it was the one where he got the game winner, and then at the end of the interview, he goes, "I called game." And it was off the glass into the basket. That's how I remember Paul Pierce the most. And then I just remember how awful he was in 2K. For some reason, his ratings were always really crap. For some reason, you never wanted to pass on the ball unless he was going for the rebound. Just nope. It's either Ray Allen or inside Kevin Garnett, or you take it yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a little sad that this story just can't die. Just let the man poop.
We all do it.
He also, in this interview, they talked about the Lakers for some reason. And he said, quote, about the Lakers, quote, "This team, as constructed, cannot win a championship." They're off to a bad start.
This is
Paul
the
Pierce
current
on
Lakers.
the Lakers. Correct.
The current Lakers, yeah.
Yeah. They're off to a bad start. But it's early in the season. So we'll see what happens there. Moving on to another weird story that's gone on in the MLB. So we mentioned before that formerly the Cleveland Indians, now changed their name to the Cleveland Guardians. Did you see that whole debacle of there was like a semi-pro, I forget what sport team that used the same name?
Yeah.
They settled that, so they were going to stay the Cleveland Indians. And they opened the new team store with merchandise that fans lined up hours before it was open to buy. Very awesome. What's not very awesome, Mike, the giant Guardians sign that they put above the team store fell almost immediately as the store opened.
Oh.
The entire store sign fell. No one was injured. But as reported by ESPN, a special opening day for the newly named Cleveland Guardians began with a bang. Not the one they hoped for either. So it was just the team store sign. It just fell right down. It's got to be a bad sign.
That is literally.
No pun intended.
That is not a good start to your brand. It's a bad omen, and I really hope it goes in the right. It hopefully goes in a positive direction. So
two things. One, if you're a fan, how do you trust this team if they can't even hang up a sign correctly? How would you feel walking around the stadium looking up and like, hope that doesn't fall down today?
I know there's people that work in the stadium. I probably blame, I don't know, somebody maybe in their operations team and whatnot. The people who walk around with the walkie-talkies and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Screw those guys. I blame all of them.
We'll go with that.
I'm kidding.
Second question. I think you just got to change the name again. Not just because the bad. I think this is just a bad sign. It's a bad start.
we gotta stop saying sign because I'm so punny right now. I hate to be that person, and I'm sorry if I'm going to be incorrect. But do you think it is per se we always talk about indigenous peoples and all that. Do you think it may be the spirit of Indians who may have been somewhere around Cleveland that are causing this bad juju?
You never do know. It's a good theory. It's a good conspiracy theory. I like it. So the sign fell about 15 feet, smashed into pieces. Luckily, no one was injured. And like I said, fans just seem to like the new merchandise, which is good. Good for the team. Just a rough start. Hopefully it gets a little better.
Hopefully.
And if you're a baseball fan, real quick, one thing to keep your eye on is the collective bargaining agreement is due to expire December 1st, and we are headed for a lockout.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, just love to see it.
Love to see a lockout.
That's really, really what we need. So let's keep our eye on that. And that will conclude the sports topics we have for you all today. It is time for Dude. That's crazy. I will go with my first one. I have some great ones. I'm not going to lie.
Don't you always?
I think I always do. I think we both do. I think we both really bring the energy in this one. I don't know why I just accidentally scratched my nose with my middle finger. I apologize for that.
Wait until you hear mine today.
Oh, I can't wait. My second one is insane. It might not even be true, but it says it's true. So Mike, we like dogs.
Yes.
Who doesn't love dogs? And generally, when we see a dog wag its tail, we think it's happy, right?
Yes.
Did you know that's not always the case? So, if a dog is happy, its tail wags to the right. If a dog is sad, the tail wags to the left.
So what happens if it goes... Wait, do you mean like in the order, like goes left, right, or
right?
Left,
so like
right, left?
Right. So depending on which way it wags first, that's the way that you know if it's happy or sad.
Oh.
Yeah. So sometimes your dog could be wagging its tail, but it's not actually happy. It's sad.
Dude, that is crazy.
Right? Because now you know what we got to think.
It's a little upsetting.
When you come home and your dog starts wagging your tail, is he actually happy you're home, or is he sad that you're home?
But then what if you don't see him go? Like that could be, I forget what that thing is called. Like, you know, like the spinning dancer, like it's like, oh, is it spinning like clockwise or counterclockwise? Like,
right.
We may fall into that thing and it's like, oh, well, I think it's happy because I saw it start from right to left. Like if you don't see him initially start off with that, you don't know.
Correct. Yeah.
That's like a girl on a date. Like you don't know the vibe. You know if she's wagging left or she's wagging right. So it's...
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Not that we're familiar with that anymore.
No. Yeah, but you might not know.
Yeah. That's
something to keep an eye on.
Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Immediately after you start seeing the dog.
Scary stuff.
Right is good, left is bad.
Yes. If it wags to the right, it's happy. Wags to the left, it's sad.
Okay. Keep an eye out there, dog people. Matt, this one's kind of crazy. Hopefully.
It's kind of crazy.
Matt, we've never been a part of a nuclear explosion, right?
I can confirm.
Okay, great. Seal of approval. Survive nuclear explosions. Matt, during a nuclear explosion, there is a certain distance of the radius where all the frozen supermarket pizzas are cooked to perfection.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm going to read it one more time. During a nuclear explosion, there is a certain distance of the radius where all the frozen supermarket pizzas are cooked to perfection.
So I'm assuming it's like the outside part of the very last parts that get affected.
Yeah, you never know. Like it could be a little bit like maybe a couple miles in, right at the brim, like 20 miles in. We don't know.
All right. Yeah, dude, that is crazy. Kind of wild.
Come on. We've seen Game Boy Colors survive nuclear explosions.
Yep.
So you have to think that at that point, the heat and, the heat coming from the explosion will cook all those pizzas to perfection.
Yeah. Damn.
Al dente.
The sad part is, though, no one can really go in to eat them because there's so much, like, chemicals in the air.
Radio, yeah. Nuclear.
Damn. That's the worst part.
That is even worse.
Yeah. Especially if it's Barstool's new one-bite pizza.
One-bite pizza. I've seen that gone around on TikTok. I have yet to
try. Does not look good.
It looks like just a regular frozen pizza.
And frozen pizzas is frozen pizza. Like you can't perfect a frozen pizza because no one really prefers to eat frozen pizza over anything.
No. Now Elio's on the other hand.
Well, correct.
And Bagel
Elio's is yes. Whoa. Elio's is number 1. Bagel Bites number 2. The rest of them are trash.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. All right. This one is crazy.
Okay.
Have you ever thrown a frisbee?
Yes. I love
It's fun,
Ultimate
right?
Frisbee. I love
Yeah,
a
it's
good game of Ultimate Frisbee.
It's a great game. What do you just out of curiosity? What do you think the inventor of the frisbee is up to?
He probably followed up with creating a boomerang because he got sick and tired of playing frisbee by himself.
Well, I sad to report he is no longer living.
Oh shit, my bad.
Do you want to know what they did with his ashes?
Oh no, God, just lay it on me. I know where this is going.
After he died, the inventor of the frisbee was turned into a frisbee.
Oh, dude, that is crazy.
Yeah. So,
Here's the weirdest part. Was it in for mass production or was it specially created and is like enshrined? That's the question I want to know.
That it doesn't say. So Steady Ed Hedrick invented the frisbee in the 1950s, which, by the way, 1950s, we've only had frisbees for like 70 years. That's whack. He then went on to create the sport of disc golf in the 70s. When he died in 2002, his final wish was to have his ashes turned into a frisbee. His son said it was his father's dream that they play with him after death and that he might even accidentally end up on someone's roof.
I'm doing a quick Google search and trying to see if I can find the legit frisbee, but I don't think I can.
I know, but that is just insane.
It's like those weird people that want to spread their ashes on like a Disney ride or something like that.
Yeah,
I would
know.
rather, I hate to be that person, but I'd rather be that frisbee. Instead of knowing my ashes just went somewhere where people are publicly like engaged with.
I don't know. I think I'd rather just be buried.
I mean, same. But like,
Yeah.
You know, cremation is a little less expensive, you know?
It is. But now every time you pick up a frisbee, you're gonna be like, well, I hope there's no dead ashes in here.
I don't think that's gonna happen, Matt.
You never know.
Oh man, I don't think it will. I do like a frisbee. I do.
Throwing frisbee's fun.
It is. Like once, I mean, for me, like I have to warm up a little bit before I start throwing. Not like warm up my arm, but like get a couple tosses in before I know, like, okay, I could definitely throw it pretty far.
Right.
Can jam, on the other hand,
Love can jam.
that's great.
I'm not
Great
good
game.
at it, but I love it.
Cornhole, I hit or miss.
I love cornhole. Again, not good at it, but I love it. The theme.
It's just guys being dudes. Well, Matt, oddly enough, I have a toy fact myself.
Oh,
Well,
right
I shouldn't say a toy fact, but more just a toy topic. Matt, fidget spinners.
Yeah,
Did you own a fidget spinner at one point?
I never did.
Never did? Have you
Nope.
spun a fidget spinner?
Oh, I don't even think I did that.
Oh, well, okay. Well, Matt, it kind of makes sense that the target audience for fidget spinners lost interest in them so quickly.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, dude, that is crazy. Yeah, because they were literally like a summer thing, like a year. I mean, people still make them, but like, do you remember the craze for fidget spinners?
I had two.
Yeah, there's a huge craze for them, and yeah, they just snap of a finger, people just don't even want them. That is wild.
Now it's what is it? Jenna was telling me it was like this. Like
Oh, it's
bubble wrap pop, like those
No,
poppers.
yes, poppers. Yeah,
Poppers.
yep, it's huge.
Very huge. Yeah, I remember having a fidget spinner. I have these like weighted like spinners, like they stand and they spin, but like they continuously spin. Like it's kind of weighted enough where like it spins on its own.
Yeah.
I just sit there and a fidget spinner I think takes a little bit more attention than this thing here because it's on the ground. Like I mean, it's on my desk and I could literally just sit here and spin this entire time and still look at you and still talk to you and still look at my notes. Like, but a fidget spinner, like you kind of had to use like two hands. Like it was kind of weird for you.
It didn't seem it didn't seem very efficient.
No.
No, but I never really did have one. I probably spun one once. I just can't actually remember if I did. But, yeah, that's crazy.
Matt hasn't done meth, but at least he spun a fidget spinner.
That's a fact.
Oh, man. Well, what a great addition. What a great episode. And what a way to conclude another episode. If you haven't already, make sure you follow us on our social media. You can find all of our social media at solo.to/funnybusiness. Don't be stupid. With Black Friday, there's a thing called Cyber Monday, which almost is pretty much a better alternative if you don't feel like going out. If you don't feel too comfortable, wear a mask. I kind of slid in a little bit for advice, but I will now open it up formally for Mr. Matthew for his advice time. So, Matt, take it away.
That was going to be kind of my advice.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, you're good. You're good. So if you're going to order Christmas presents, just remember there's a lot of shipping delays and things of that nature. If you are looking to get something shipped overseas, that's probably not going to happen. So be smart with your Christmas shopping. Don't break the bank, because again, that's not what Christmas is all about. Christmas is about being a good person, spending time with family and friends, giving back to those in need. Gifts are fun. They are fun to give. They are fun to get, but that's not really what it's all about. So if you are looking for something specific, you can't find it online, try to find it in person if you're comfortable going out. But give yourself some time. Don't cram your shopping in until like 2 days beforehand, because it's not going to happen. It's different from years past. Maybe next year we'll be back to a little bit more normal. But for this year, plan ahead a little bit. And just try to enjoy the Christmas season as much as you can.
Yeah, if you can, shop local. I know some people are hard to shop for, but there's some really nice things at some mercantiles and some little shops that are at local towns. So take advantage of that. I was gonna say, make sure you check out our merch store, but we don't have any merch.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
One day.
One day. But yeah, Matt. Yeah, this is the last November podcast.
Damn.
For the year. Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
It is.
Dude, that is crazy.
Yes, it is.
Ding. I can't believe it. Jenna was telling me that we were repeating some of her conversations in the last episode. I'm like, look, so whatever just comes out, comes out. That's all that happens.
After 84 episodes, it's bound to happen.
I was listening to an episode of The Tripod, and it's like, did I ever tell you guys about my shark shirt? And everyone was like, yes, Zach, you have. Like, it's kind of like your margarita machine.
Yeah, the margarita machine. Yeah. Or my mom being an ordained minister.
Yes.
Which, by the way, if you didn't know, my mom's an ordained minister.
Oh, man. But how's you and April doing?
Good.
Yeah.
No complaints.
Yeah. One month now?
Officially 1 month, yeah.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
How are you and Jenna?
We are fab, man.
Yeah, good. Good to hear.
Great. Dude, 3 years in February. Can you believe that?
No, I really can't.
Right?
That's crazy.
Can't even believe it. So just make sure you tell someone you love them.
Yep.
You never know what happens.
There it is.
So, and until the next time, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.